Hi everyone, this is MC Joe D, the Roundhouse Report. I'm reporting specifically on Iran's direct retaliation this past night regarding surface missiles fired from Iranian territory into Israel proper. This is a very, very fluid situation. I have looked at many of my sources and I've gotten a basic idea of what we know thus far. It is Sunday, April 14th at about 10 a.m. So this all could change. I don't know. It's so fluid. So on April 1st, the Israelis attacked the consulate building next to the embassy, well, part of the embassy of Iran. They left the embassy standing, although I'm sure it was just like shattered through because of the next door the consulate went up. And they killed 6 Iranian Revolutionary Guard commanders, one of which was the most senior since Soleimani. Soleimani was taken out on Latardback in Baghdad by Trump. The top person they killed in their strike in Syria was a top Iranian, the highest one to be killed since Soleimani. So, and because it was on the embassy compound, technically any country, let's say America has a compound in Sudan, that territory is technically American territory, which means if you attack it, it's like you're attacking us directly. So Iran took this really far out, and so we attacked, not us, the Israelis attacked the consulate building next to the Iranian embassy in Syria on April 1st, and they killed the people I just mentioned. And Iran saw that because of the diplomatic status that other countries have within another country, meaning your embassy is your own territory. Iran's consulate building was hit. The embassy was not. But their whole argument is, listen, this was our soil. And this is true among any embassies around the world. Tunisia, wherever. If you have an embassy somewhere and that's your soil. So the Iranians took that as an attack on their own soil. So, thus far, I have learned that they have destroyed apparently about 300, estimates differ, between 200 and 300 drones, short-range ballistic missiles, and long-range cruise missiles. And those guys can really pack a punch. So they sent about 300 total drones, ballistic missiles, and cruise missiles. They sent over about 300 is the basic consensus I'm getting here. And Jordan, the United Kingdom, and the Americans are the ones who helped. The Americans have come out and said, look, we downed 70 of those ballistic missiles on behalf of Israel. So it's not like Israel did all of it, but they did most of it. Jordan, the UK, and United States shot down a whole bunch, but still, Israelis Iron Dome, I'm sure they use the David Sling. There's one more outer layer of defense. I don't remember what it's called. You have the Iron Dome, which is like short, medium range missiles. You have the David Sling, which is further away longer range missiles. Sling, woo, from the Bible. And then you have, there's a third system that goes even further out, and I don't remember what it's called. But anyhow, they defeated, with the help of their allies, the entire attack. A few missiles landed in Israel. One landed near a military base, which seems to be their primary target. It was an Air Force base. And it wounded a young woman, a 10-year-old girl, and I pray that she's going to recover fully. But other than that, there's no casualties. So Iran must be humiliated, for one thing, that they finally launched hundreds of drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles. And according to the IDF, them in cohort with us, the United States, Britain, and Jordan, and even France is mentioned, but it's so fluid right now. The stuff that I'm saying right now could be out of date by the end of the day, which is why I wanted to make it now. So Jordan stepped up. I mean, these missile attacks happen from Iran, from Iraq, and from the Houthis, so a number of directions. And basically, this is Israel. Now that they were like not an embassy attack, but they were directly fired upon by Iranian soil. into Israeli soil. Now, keep in mind, they did say that most of them were intercepted before they got to Israeli soil, but still, the intention was there. The intent was to do a missile blitz against Israel. Israel shot most of them down, which must be humiliating for Iran, like I said. And Israel now has an excuse. They've wanted for 20 years, for solid 20 years, if not more. They've wanted to attack Iran. Not just because Iran is death to Israel. They've been dealing with that for many decades, since 1979. No, this had to do more with the fact that, yes, Iranian militias have fired so many rockets and cruise missiles, as you all know, against American targets in Syria and Iraq. But in this case, Iran directly chose, hey, we're going to fire all of this from our territory into Israeli territory. That's literally an act of war. It would be the equivalent, on a much lesser scale, or in the other way, Pearl Harbor being a much greater scale as relative to what happened to Israel. It would be like a Pearl Harbor, and then the world says, the Biden administration came out with a statement that said, Israel needs to be careful in their response so as not to activate a broader regional war, which I'm sure you guys have heard all about. Be careful, be careful. Okay, well, that all changed. Iran is the one who decided to open up a new front. Iran is the one who shot those missiles from its territory. Iran is the one who chose escalation. In the Western media, you're going to see that, Biden's already come out and said, Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, be very careful what you do. Be careful how you respond, because we're worried about a greater conflagration with Iran in general. And it's like, wait. If Mexico fired 300 freaking rockets at the United States, would our allies convince us to not respond? Would Canada and France and England be like, don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't respond. Because after the response from Iran, they immediately put forth a statement saying, we're done. That was our response from the April 1st attacks on our consulate in Syria, where you killed 7 of our high-ranking dudes. We're done. That's our retaliation. Israel doesn't fuck around. Excuse my French. So this is the perfect... Israel has been wanting to attack Iran for more than 20 years. I've read sources years and years ago talking about practice runs against Iran using the island of Cyprus, because I guess it's relatively equivalent. I don't know in terms of range. It's not. I've looked at the map, but they use Cyprus and they run drills over Cyprus in preparation for Iran. And I read this 10 years ago. So they've been constantly preparing for an attack on Iran. Now that Iran has attacked them hundreds of missiles and cruise missiles and ballistic missiles, that's a lot. So Iran finally attacked from their own soil, Israeli soil. Not an embassy, but the actual country. Biden comes out, I saw a little bit ago, Biden comes out with a release saying that Israel must use restraint when responding to the Iranian attack because Biden and his administration are worried about a expansion of the war. You've heard this. This could be turned into a regional war. All right, well, so he's saying Israel to exercise restraint in its retaliation against Iran, but at the same time, Iran is the one who opened up this broader war that Biden and everyone has been worried about since Gaza started on October 7th, October 8th. So this is a big deal. Israel has wanted to strike Iran for decades, like I said, mainly because of their nuclear program. They haven't thus far. They've done cyber attacks. They've done assassinations in country, assassinations within Iran. They've done a lot, but they've never, ever, ever in the history of Iran and Israel Never has Iran attacked from its territory directly in Israeli territory with 300 plus weapons, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, drones. Again, the UK, Jordan, the United States, we helped kill at least 70, if not more. But I'm sure that had we not been there, the Israelis would have been able to handle it. We just kind of supplemented them. So anyway, for 10 fucking years, for 10 or 15 years, 20 years, Iran has wanted to bomb nuclear facilities within Iran. This is the perfect casus belli for doing such a thing. What Iran did was a literal act of war. One nation state fired a volley of rockets and missiles and cruise missiles toward another nation state. And some of them did land. According to sources, most were intercepted outside of Israeli territory, which tells me David Sling, or the one for longer range, which I don't remember the name of. But this tells me that this is Israel's chance. They've been itchy on the trigger finger. They've been itchy for 15, 20 years to attack Iran over their nuclear deployment, their nuclear program. And so finally, Israel has a legitimate casus belli. The reason the war started, because Iran, from their territory, attacked Israeli territory directly, which is unprecedented. They've never done that before. And they used about 300 drones, like I said, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles. So what I'm trying really to say, and again, this is a very fluid situation. I haven't looked at all my sources yet. I've looked at about 4 or 5, but they're all the consensus is pretty much there. Biden's saying that, hey, Israel, after this massive attack by Iran, don't respond because we're afraid of a greater regional war with Iran. Okay. Iran is the one that started that potential regional conflict by sending hundreds of drones and missiles into Israel. No one's talking about that. Iran did this. They're the ones that opened up a broader war footage across the Arab world. They're the ones that brought about escalation because they fired from their own territory directly into Israeli territory. And then the United States is like, just be chill. We'll just kind of see what happens. and they're telling Israel, like I said, don't do anything to escalate. Well, I have news for you. Iran did it for them. Iran escalated. So, as I've said before, Israeli military, ballistic missile system, everything has been trained on Iran's nuclear facilities for decades. And this is their perfect opportunity to actually show down Iran. Knock out they don't have a navy. They don't have much of an air force. They have ground troops, but they're not battle tested. So, and anytime Iran's been met with force, they back down immediately. In this case, Israel's going to, I hope, use this opportunity to open up a full-fledged aerial campaign to destroy the nuclear capabilities of Iran. Because if the freaking Iranians get nukes, the Saudis are going to get nukes, Qatar's are going to get nukes, everyone's going to get nukes because they're afraid of Iran. And they've, by the way, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, they've been quietly pressuring Israel for the last few years about, hit Iran if you can, hit Iran if you can, because they don't like Iran, they're afraid of Iran. Iran's the most regional power within the biggest regional power within the area, other than Israel and potentially Turkey. But this is the perfect time for Israel to do what it's wanted to do for so long. Have a casus belli that they did not start. And they can go directly into Iran after their response. And they're within their rights. If Mexico sent 300 rockets and drones into the southern United States, targeting major population centers, would we not do anything in fear of escalating? No, they escalated. This is the same thing I'm saying Iran. Iran is the one that escalated, not Israel. An Israeli response would be tit for tat. No one's going to allow themselves to be attacked and then not do anything. If Mexico launched hundreds of missiles against the United States, we would flatten freaking Mexico. But as Douglas Murray says, Israel is the only country in the world not allowed to win a war. And that's very true. I mean, look at the leftist position that the UN's at. Biden trying to appease his liberal progressives. But the bottom line of this video is that Israel has the perfect opportunity to once and for all open up a campaign against Iran. Aerial and Navy, mostly aerial, and missiles, land to land. That's the main point. Again, everything's very fluid. This is like the morning. This is like 12 hours after what had happened. So this is very fluid, which again, it's April 14th, Sunday, 10:15 a.m. And the onus is on Israel right now. Are they going to live up to their word, which is any Iranian, over the years, and this isn't recent, any Iranian escalation from their territory would give us a reason to attack them back within their own territory. I don't think Israel is going to shirk from that. Most of the missiles and drones were shot down by Israeli, U.S., U.K., and Jordanian missile defenses. And it failed, which must be very terrible, very humiliating for Iran. But the next step is, what is Israel going to do? Are they going to take their golden ticket, which they've been waiting for 20 years? The golden ticket where, hey, whoa, Iran just carried out a strike against us. That's an act of war. We're going to go take care of their nuclear program. So it's all up in the air right now, but that was my main point, is that this is Israel's perfect opportunity to do what they feel they need to do against Iran, since they've been directly attacked by Iran, which again has never happened. So I will keep you guys filled in, and I'll do my best. I'm still sifting through sources. This happened like 12 hours ago, so it's very fluid. Things can change in a heartbeat. But this is Jody Roundhouse. Thank you for watching the Roundhouse Report. Please subscribe, like, leave comments. All right, guys. See ya.